Hello, and welcome to From Stigma to Strength, keeping you and your mind well. Today we're focusing on our art department, and arts, recreation, and our library. And I'll introduce our guests to you, or they'll introduce themselves to you.
My name is Jennifer Loisel, and I am the activity coordinator at the Methuen Senior Center. I'm also a local artist and art advocate. I also sit on the Cultural Council and founded Methuen Artists Unite.
Great, thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Steve Angelo. I am the Superintendent of Parks and Recreation here in the city of Methuen.
Hi, I'm Sarah Sullivan, and I am the Assistant Director at the Nevins Library.
And great. So today we're going to talk about mental health and our community and how the art department, the rec department, as well as the library can help people out if they're, going through some issues, mental health issues, depression, isolation especially, to get people out and, find out what's going on in town. And we have a couple of slides we're going to start with first. So we're going to start with the Arts in Methuen. And Jen, why don't you tell us a little about Methuen Artists United? Is that what it's called? I'm sorry.
Yes, no, Methuen Artists Unite. First of all, thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you guys all for coming with us.
I really think it's so important to talk about art and the intersection of art and mental health because it's such an incredible tool. In 2019, I, along with a few other local artists here in Methuen, founded Methuen Artists Unite. It's a group of local artists that come together to do public art projects. It's just really a wonderful group of people doing, I think trying to spread joy through art here in Methuen.
So there's the next slide we have up of the big mural that was done during Methuen Day, which was cool because I have a little piece in there. So tell us about this. This is so cool.
This was one of the first projects that Methuen Artists Unite did. And it was an incredible project and just an incredible time. And as you can see, the final piece is really beautiful. During Methuen Day in 2019, we came up with this concept of the mural. It's a 30-foot mural. It's 30 feet by 5 feet. And we cut that canvas into 1-foot squares and kind of gave every person that came to our table during Methuen Artists Unite the ability to paint one of the squares. We kind of had it like a paint by number.
Right.
And so everybody painted one of these 1-foot squares, and then we put that all together to create this image. And the name of the mural is "The Beauty of the World Lies in the Diversity of Its People." And it was just such a wonderful project. And really, we hope to show people that you can do art anywhere, everywhere, and put it out, and it just really simply spreads joy.
And that's pretty cool because a lot of people have a hand in that. Like, how many people do you think had a literal hand in doing that?
We cut up 200 1-foot squares, and about 160 were painted during the day, and then we had another day to paint the rest, the other 40. So I would say at least 150 people had a piece in creating that mural that's for the entire city.
Right, and children and adults took part in that as well.
Absolutely.
So the next slide, and we're just going to show this, the next slide as well. So you created, on the upper right side, the island. So anybody in the city can get involved in that.
Yes.
And do they call the rec department, Steve?
So they would talk to the mayor's office. Would be
the mayor's office.
Correct,
so
yes.
any island that's not being utilized or taken care of by a resident, because I used to do one. I did one for like 6 years on the east side of town. It was so much fun.
It's really great. This is one of the city's initiatives in spreading joy through art is allowing people or organizations or businesses to participate in this Cityscape program, which is just this. You adopt an island somewhere in the city.
Adopt an island, that's what it's called, I'm sorry.
You can make it however, so some people have a lot of flowers. I did mine more of a rock garden.
Right. And yours is on Burnham Road, correct?
On Burnham Road, yes, and I do hope to get out there very soon and spruce it up a little bit more.
Because my thing is gardening. That's how I clear my head.
Yes.
So because I'm a little, people who know me know me well. So I garden. I do garden boxes at the Gatsby Park, and then I have a big garden at home, and I have no nails, that's why. So, and the other one was all the barrels in the city were painted by you. Not all the barrels, but a good majority of them. The one at, well, it's Gatsby Park.
The
Then you have
Gatsby,
one
yep.
at Forest Lake with little fish on it.
Yes.
And at Great Court, you had painted them with the tenny.
Yeah, that's the one
tea.
that was just in the slide there.
Right.
That's the gate around the gatehouse.
Right, right.
And really, these projects are just fun projects that we hope show people that art is everywhere and in anything. And anything that you see can turn into a piece of art,
Right.
even a trash can.
Exactly, and yeah, and Jen didn't go out and do them there. They were brought to you to your home, and
Which was also a wonderful city initiative
Right,
that they
exactly.
would bring them and
Yeah.
allow Methuen Artists Unite to get involved in that. And
yeah, I've driven by your house and saw you doing it. Oh, there she goes. So that's your role in promoting mental health awareness through art. So
Always.
this is what you do. What other projects are you coming up with? And could a resident take an art class in Methuen?
So there are lots of art classes that are pretty local to us. Essex Art Center in Lawrence
Right.
is a great one-stop shop for anything and everything art, for all ages and all abilities.
And where is that located?
And it's right on Essex Street
Essex Street?
in Lawrence. It's about 5 minutes away from where we are right now.
Right.
There's also Shoetown Art in Haverhill. There's the Powder Mills in Lowell. Every once in a while, you'd also be able to find a class at the library or through the rec
Yeah,
department.
we're going to talk about that next, yeah.
And Michael's actually also offers classes. So, there are avenues to kind of get some instruction if you're looking for a teacher to teach.
Okay, great, thank you. So, Steve, so when you talk about programming, is it programs in Methuen? Is it just for school-age children?
So we have a very diverse portfolio of programs that we do run. A majority of our classes are for students as of right now.
Right.
I said, as we continue to expand our programming list, I said, through the department, over the last couple of years, I said, people will see that we've actually really created a diverse offering of classes that we've been able to offer. Jennifer's actually offered painting classes with us before, and art classes before. We're getting into cooking classes, we're getting into STEM, into Lego, and that's where the first step of this growth for the department became, is to grow the child's program.
Right.
We're actually now offering adult aerobics programs over at Sanborn Hall as well.
Oh,
We're talking
right.
about doing some adult sports programs, and then looking into doing more art programs and finding different avenues for people to be able to get out. I'd like to talk to MCTV or doing community studios about maybe offering classes here and doing different things that might open up the horizons for people to kind of see what Methuen has to offer.
Yeah.
I said, because there are a lot of great avenues to be able to really expand it, especially when it comes to mental health and getting involved with stuff that the people are passionate with. We want to, as a city, be able to offer those programs up to people.
Well, you guys could always do a cooking show here as well. We have a
fun.
full kitchen. We've done some before. They're pretty cool. With all the programs that are offered, is there normally a fee associated with them?
It all depends on which program it is. So
Right.
I said, we do have programs that do have cost associations with them. I said that actually helps to cover the cost of the overhead of the program. I said any additional money that we make off of those programs actually go right back into
back into
community
the program.
events.
Right,
And so
right.
whether it be to enhance some of our athletic fields or some of our playgrounds with repairs, we utilize those funds to be able to help offset the cost for other things. It also goes into our events like the fireworks.
Right, right.
Fall Fest.
Yeah.
I know we did the summer concert series. I said myself and Jennifer worked on
Yeah,
last
that was-
summer.
that was
I said the revenues that we generate through that helped for us to offer a lot of free programming
Right.
for the city. I said we actually do take great pride in this, that the major events in the city do
Yeah.
not have costs associated with them. I said we do believe that it's very important for
Yeah.
the community to be able to come together in a common place. I said, and to celebrate special events, whether it be Hispanic Heritage Month or whether it be, I said, Fall Fest. I said, Methuen Day. I said, there's all these different things, and Methuen continues to expand upon those free offerings for people to be able to get out. I said, and to be active and to get to meet their neighbors. I said, that is a really big, I said, part that Methuen has such a great group of people, it's such a diverse community
Yeah.
to bring everyone together so people can really get to know each other and to interact and become friends. I said, to give them that avenue to be able to do that. The city continues to expand on those programmings to be able to make sure that we are trying to give a little bit of something to everybody. We do our playground program during the summer. That's been going on since I was a child here in the city. That is offered Monday through Friday during the summer, which is free of charge for parents. So they can come in and drop the child off at 9 o'clock in the morning, come pick them up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's a free program that the city sponsors that allows for them to participate in the playground programs. They play games, they do art projects, they do a whole bunch of different things. And there's no pre-registration required. It's just a standing program that we do offer. And that's once again where we have those fees that are set up. I said for some of our programs which have a little more structure to them, allow us to offer these free programs out to the community.
So what's the youngest age you can drop your child? Because obviously you can't leave a 2-year-old there.
Yeah,
But
so normally we ask at 5 years old is the youngest we do ask for.
Really?
Yeah, I said would be the youngest. I said it all depends too. I always ask people to give a call to the office if they feel like their child might be for us and wants to be involved. We don't want to turn kids away.
Right, of
That
course
is the
not,
last thing we'll ever want to do. So if we have a 4-year-old that's going with their 7-year-old brother or sister, we can look at, okay, yeah, we can
they'll be
accommodate.
yeah.
I said we also want to make sure that we keep it in a safe environment for everyone as well. I said we have some great counselors that do work with us that I said are trained to be able to handle a lot of different things. I said and provide the kids with a great aspect and just making sure that it's the right. Each kid develops at different ages,
Right.
and we always want to make sure that we are offering programs to kids that are safe and fun way for them.
how many counselors per child do you have there?
Normally we go about 8 counselors per child.
At one
And
park?
I said at one
Yeah.
park, yeah. So we offer programs at the Marsh, at the CGS, and at Gill Ave. I said, and that will fluctuate
Yeah.
day to day, to be honest with you, Nancy, because we don't know how many kids are coming in on a daily basis. So we do tend to overstep. Sometimes we might have 5 kids per counselor. Sometimes it might fluctuate up to 10.
Yeah.
I said we have a standard amount of counselors, but we always make sure, I said we always want to be around eight children to one counselor each
So a
time.
parent is going to feel comfortable knowing that they can leave their child's safe and they can, go home, chill out, have a cup of coffee, get lunch by themselves because it's hard for parents to get some
Such
alone
a great
time.
program.
Yeah,
And so-
exactly.
and we do always have a playground leader who is kind of in charge of all the other ones too. So there's always that point person at check-in each day.
Right.
So the parents are comfortable to know that if they have questions, they have concerns about anything, there is that point person each day that they can go to be that lead person. And as anyone who might be around those programs still, I'm always floating around all the time.
Yeah.
I am popping in. I said I'm checking
You're
because
everywhere.
that is the fun part about the
Yeah.
job is, you know what I mean? You get to enjoy it. You love seeing the kids out there having a
Yeah.
good time. I love getting involved with the programs like that.
You're very busy, but you're very involved and you're everywhere.
I try to be.
Which is great. That's why I love you and everything. I would like to see it, and this is just a personal thing. I would like to see a program at Gaspee Park. And I think I tried to get one there a couple of years ago, but you didn't have enough counselors. I don't know what it was something like that. But there's
Maybe a gardening program.
we have that.
Right.
So we have the kids from a program down the street. They're involved because they actually sponsor, like
The boxes.
the boxes. They bought the boxes. The DPW had built them on, it wasn't through work time. It was, whatever. And I was grateful for them. They were there after work doing it. I'm like, oh my God. But
Yeah, we have a great crew at DPW works
my
there.
God,
Very,
they were
very,
Pride in
very
our
committed.
city. Yeah.
I'm sure they did do a couple of things on work time, but it was for something that beautifies the city. So grateful for that. And so they had fallen apart, and the key program, the director, bought us brand new galvanized ones. And
They're beautiful.
Someone after work had helped me come and pick them up, and we dropped them off at the DPW. And they're like, I'm going to tell you, we can't put these up right away because city, other things are more important. Which absolutely do it when you can. So I was thrilled at that. But where was I going with this garden program? So there's a big sign there. We leave space open for you want to bring your own plants and plant your own flowers. That's great, but no vegetables because it's like way too close to the pond and everything. So Sarah, we're gonna move on to you.
Okay.
Now that I'll shut up. So we have a slide for the library.
But that's the meeting at the
You
library.
guys meet at the
library.
library. So I thought this was a library slide. So you meet at the library the second Saturday of the month at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Which is great. So how many people are in that group?
We have a pretty good core group now. There's the 3 founders,
Right.
myself, John Hadley, and Diane Moore. And then as you can see, our group is just kind of growing, and we really invite anybody to come and join us at the library the second Saturday of the month.
Right.
to talk about local art projects.
Hey, can we see the next slide? I'm sorry, I thought this was, so this was at one of the 4th of July celebrations last year. The chalk art, I
This
saw
was
that.
some
Yeah,
more
that was
art.
cute.
Yes, yes, but some of the sort of projects
Yeah.
that Methuen Artists Unite does, where we set up a table at the 4th of July celebration and just encourage people to come and have fun with chalk art.
And I remember a couple of years ago, the library, I think Kathy Moran Wallace had set up along one of the walkways. It was a storybook.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
That's a permanently installed now around the library.
Is it
a story
all
walk.
right. Now, do you
So and it's
change the
dedicated
stories?
to her.
Is it really?
Yes, when she
that was so good.
retired.
Are you
Yeah.
guys going to do that again?
Oh, the story walks?
Yeah, at the 4th of July thing.
Oh,
Was it at 4th of
I'm sorry.
July?
So I think normally it was the tree lighting.
It was
we
the
used to
tree
do.
lighting.
Tree lighting.
Yeah,
we
I
used
was
to,
just going to say
we
the
do
tree
that.
lighting.
We try to keep whatever we're doing at a city event fresh. So
Yeah.
we try and, we have an excellent youth services department.
Right.
And they really like to work with Steve and come up with something fresh, something that'll be great, that fits with the celebration that's
Yeah.
going on.
Oh, yeah, what it was? I was a Christmas Story. Now that I think of it.
Yeah.
Next time I'll remember that before I get here. So this was one of the community string art projects that you did at Methuen Day last year.
At Methuen Day last year or the year before,
Right.
and also finished that project at the
At the
library.
library.
No. Okay, so it's hanging at the library.
So it was
Not
completed at the
moment,
library.
Yeah,
Completed there.
after Methuen Day, it came and lived right at the entrance of the license,
Yeah.
so people could continue to work on it and
Yeah,
really.
that was pretty cool.
We
Which
really
is so
enjoyed
great.
that.
We're
yeah.
always so appreciative of any support that that we get from
Yeah, and we love
the
it.
city of
I mean, this
Munising.
is
So
what we
I said
do,
the
right?
same thing. It's funny how we keep having this conversation. Is there's so much crossover between all the work that we do.
Which is
I run a
great.
lot of programs at the library through my
Yes.
department. Jennifer's helped me run classes, and we've done our programs with Methuen Day. Is we all really work together collaboratively
Yeah.
Yes.
to make sure that we're offering as much as we can to the community. I say, and
Yeah.
if it's not me, I will use them as a resource, and I'll use her as a resource. And we're always kind of working together. I said to make things happen. Sometimes it just you kind of throw an idea out there. And it just forms like I said, the summer concert series was a perfect example
Oh,
of it.
there's nothing wrong with
Is
that.
I think Jennifer brought it up last year. Oh, I'd love to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a park. I know how to get a porta potty and a sound system.
Yep.
Yeah.
I said you can get
Yeah,
artists.
you'll get some
I'm gonna
bands.
I said we can make it happen, and we
So-
did. And I think that's a program which was very fresh last year,
Yeah.
and you could see it continue to grow as the summer went along. Unfortunately, Mother Nature wasn't too cooperative with some of them.
Mother
Yeah,
Nature.
right.
But I think that with the year on the belt, people know to expect it now. I said,
Yes.
and we'll be able to
Yeah.
get the marketing out for it and get the information
And
out to people.
all of us be involved in
Oh,
these
yeah.
wonderful events.
Yes.
So speaking of, because this show is focusing on mental health illness, mental health and your wellness. So a lot of these programs, how do you get people out, and do you see new people? Sometimes you see the same people, I'm sure,
Yep.
doing things. How would you get someone out that isolates themselves and they don't like to get involved? Like, what would you tell that person?
Well, I think there's a few different ways to go about it.
They all
you know?
look to you. They both
I know.
look to you. Like,
Tough question.
I mean, the library is kind of situated uniquely for that.
Right.
Where that we are a free place to come indoors. It's temperature controlled. It's well lit. It's comfortable.
Right.
People are going to say hello to you and have a conversation with you, so that.
nice easy back chairs to sit in.
Yes, and and some people, we know that people come in and we're the only face-to-face conversation that they're going to have that day.
Yeah.
And that's really important to us. We really take care, and we're so happy to be there
Right.
for them. But we also understand that people, there could be any number of reasons why they can't come into the library. Mobility issues or mental health or childcare or something like that. So at least at the library, we do try to go out and meet them. We go to the events that are happening in the city. We come to anything we can. You invite us, we're going to be there. As
So you go
long
to the
as we
Housing
can.
Authority once a month?
We go to the Housing Authority once a month. We
Right.
go to, there's a couple other retirement communities that we go to once a month. We go to the MSPCA, especially in the summertime. We
Yeah.
go to all the schools. you know, we do all that, but even on top of that, we'll do home delivery if you want library materials.
Really?
Give us a call.
Tell us about that.
Give us a call.
Yeah.
Give us a call. Let us know what what you're looking for, and we're happy. We work with volunteers to bring things to you and pick it back up. I mean, that's
so amazing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
that's
they just
so
put your number up there. I
amazing.
didn't know that.
yeah.
So if somebody was homebound, an elderly person, or
Mm-hmm.
even a young person who can't get out because of maybe an illness or
Sure.
an issue that's personal to them, they can call you and say, "I want ABC book by so and so."
Absolutely.
And you bring it to and
bring
you
it.
check it out for them just like a library card.
Absolutely.
Well,
and we'll give you a little
yeah.
extra time, you know.
Right,
but,
right, right.
But at the same in the
And you
same
come
token,
and pick it up, obviously, right?
you can come pick it up. We'll bring it to your car.
No. Do you bring it to their home or outside?
Both.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you would come and pick it up when they're ready?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so
we'll set
cool.
it up. We'll pair like a volunteer to the person at home.
Right.
So that everyone's comfortable, you know, and everyone knows each other, and, you know, we'll bring it to you,
Yeah.
we'll pick it up when you're ready for the next people, because a lot of people who are homebound or for whatever reason, they'll go through those books quickly, and they'll
Yeah.
and they'll
Oh, I'm
feel,
sure.
you know, or those movies and magazines, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll work with you.
Now you
for
also
sure.
have things at the library, and I did that in quotes because that's how it's listed as things.
Yes.
And there's so much. I borrowed things. I borrowed a metal detector. Plus, I
Awesome.
borrowed it when the ground was frozen. And my husband said, why'd you get it now? I'm like, well, you're using it outside. You can't dig anything up. Everything's frozen.
Yeah.
So I'll do that again. And the other thing I borrowed was you can take film, like, what is that called? Film, old camera
Just old
film,
film.
and put it through. Because I borrowed it, but I had the wrong kind of film. I thought I was like, oh no, this is not what I want. But there's so many things to borrow. Garden tools.
Garden tools. We've got a blood pressure cuff if you
Right.
want to, if you need to check your blood pressure. Sometimes we've got snowshoes. We have
Tons and tons
we have
of
a whole
things.
collection of things, like games and things specifically for caregivers to
Right.
work to play with people living with dementia or
Right.
special needs. We have large, you know, you want to have like a party, like a barbecue, Memorial Day.
big
We've
games,
got big
yeah.
games for you to play in your
Forgot
lawn.
about
You can
those,
borrow. And that collection is always growing, and we're always looking for suggestions.
Yeah.
So let us know if there's something that
So
you would
they're
like to
all
borrow.
they're all listed on the website, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they can keep them for 7 days.
Yes.
And can they
I believe you can renew them once, and you
Yeah.
can put them on hold too. You
Yeah.
know,
So
that's
if I
kind
wanted
of a
to
change.
borrow a metal detector again, I can have it for 7 days. But how long do I have to wait to borrow it again?
Oh, just return it, wait a day, and then take it again.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I thought you had to wait like
No.
a certain time. So
We don't. There's too many things to
Yeah.
keep track of to keep track of that.
you know what the good thing is about that, and a lot of homebound people can use these things.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and the other thing, if you wanted to buy a metal detector but wasn't sure,
Mm-hmm.
well, let me borrow one from the library and see if I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll go out and buy one on my own.
Sure.
Now, the library buys them, or do people donate them, or both?
Mostly we purchase them so that
Right.
we know that they are new. You
Yeah.
know, we'll have a warranty. We can and we can verify that it's hasn't been broken in the past and
Right.
fixed, you know, so it's in good shape for you.
Because we have to sign waivers for these, and
Yeah.
you break it, you buy it. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
Which going for the GoPro,
happens.
the GoPro's a little expensive.
yeah. yeah.
But
oh, that's right. You have a GoPro too.
like the gardening tools aren't. And if you're just
Yeah.
trying to maybe take a hand at gardening and going
Yeah.
to your program at DeGaspie Park,
yeah.
pick up some tools and give it a shot. Maybe you like it.
See, a lot of people don't know you have these things to borrow either.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, on the website, tons and tons of things.
The
but-
outdoor games are so, I mean, we at
Yeah.
the senior center have borrowed
Mm-hmm.
games
Yeah.
to bring people together, you know, to kind
Yeah.
of play a game that you haven't played in a long time. And I'll tell you, Jenga, the giant Jenga
I
at
love
the
Jenga.
center was
Love it.
such a hit, you
Yeah.
know. We had,
Wonderful.
and you don't think, you know, sometimes it's something so simple of a huge Connect 4 on the lawn, but it does get people to come outside, you know, enjoy that sunshine, play a game with each other, smile, laugh.
Yeah.
And it's just so incredible that all of
Yeah.
that is for free at the library.
Yeah.
Like, you just need a library card.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
amazing.
you know, the other good thing that I find enjoyable it gets people to know their neighbors. Is National Night Out. It's the first Tuesday of every August. So that gets a lot of people out where they don't usually get out and meet their neighbors. So, and I've seen, people, I've held them before, several of them I've held, and, I never knew my neighbors before when I made these flyers and passed them out, and, come right to my house. I lived on a dead-end street, and at one time I had 200 people there.
Wow.
From the neighborhood. It was like 4 or 5 streets, and it was on a dead end. We had barbecue one year. We had, do you remember Super Swirl ice cream that was on Merrimack Street?
Yep.
So they provided us big tubs of ice cream. We made ice cream sundaes. We had a potluck dinner one year. So that's great. And I never knew these neighbors. I'm like, where do you live? Oh,
That's
right there.
another great
So,
city initiative, the National Night Out.
It's so
the
much
city's
fun.
been doing it for a couple of nights.
It's so much
and
fun.
it's not only great to meet your neighbors, but you also get to meet, the police.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
policemen, the people who are taking care of you.
Yeah.
And some of these things too, with the mental health task force, I think the goal and the hope is to have social workers that are also out and about, and so you just kind of have a lot of resources.
Yeah.
And in that moment of needing somebody, that it's not scary because you've seen some of these folks before. So
Right.
that's just another really great initiative that you
and,
brought up.
and they get out and meet and greet people. And, I had a friend who was afraid of the police because of an incident that happened to her when she was younger. So she always had this, not fear of them, but she was just very cautious. And now she's, met them, and they do the police academy. They're doing it now. I think it's running.
that's
And
amazing.
I did it last year. We had a blast. But that's another way to meet people. And if somebody's afraid of, the police, and they'll welcome you with open arms. And maybe because I've worked with them in the past. But getting back to a social worker. So on a previous show that we did with Ashley, the director. I think it was her that mentioned, or Karen or Kelly had mentioned that there's a part-time social worker at the senior center who's, will help people with, if they have
Yes, there
problems or issues, and very confidential.
Absolutely.
So yeah, very confidential. It's not like, and they'll meet one-on-one or in a group. Am I, correct me if I'm mistaken?
I'm not sure about the group settings,
Yeah.
but yes, the senior center, I was talking about art in the public, but there's also a lot of incredible art at the center. So I want to
Right.
just kind of put that out there for anybody who's 54 plus retired to come on down and have there's another opportunity to get out of the house and just be around people. But the social worker, Beverly Sobel, just joined the staff, and it's been an amazing addition to the staff because everybody kind of needs help, and as we get older, we still might need somebody to talk to. And
Yeah.
so just throw it out there that she's in on Thursdays, and you can call the office to schedule an appointment at the center.
Yeah, all right. We're going to take a 5-minute break, if that's okay with you guys, and then when we come back, we'll talk to you a little bit more.
Sure.
All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
I had cancer. Cancer did not have me. And I lived through it, and I'll continue to live. My name is Micah, and I am actually, this is my 10th year anniversary for being a breast cancer survivor. And basically, I didn't know anything about it. Wasn't in my family. Took every gene test under the sun. So it was a learning experience, to say the least. I was 31 when I was diagnosed. Interesting enough, I had just met somebody. And so I'm like, how am I gonna tell this man that I have breast cancer and we've only known each other a few months? I felt like I was a problem, like I had to do more, that I had to prove myself as a woman more. Going through chemo, like, no, I'm good. We can go do this, we can go do that. And I wasn't good. I remember one time I went over to his apartment, and before I even walked in, I literally jumped out of my car and I'm vomiting. And by the time he opened the door, I'm like, hey, of course, I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom real quick, he had no idea. I had to learn to let people love me through the process. I'm such an independent person. I can do it by myself. I know, but I had to, this process taught me how to let people be there for me. But more than anything, I think I've just dived into my career so that I don't even have to be vulnerable in that relationship space. I went to work every single day except for the days that I had chemo. When I finally made the decision after I was halfway through my treatment that I was gonna make the announcement on air, I'll never forget the minute my job all walked through the door with their heads shaved. And they all stood behind me while I announced over the airwaves what I was going through. And to have that support at that time, you know, I was just like, whoa. Each one of us have a different journey, and we're still here so that we can be purposeful for younger women and to keep talking about it for younger women. This is what breast cancer looks like. It's not your grandmother's disease. It's not your aunt's disease. It's the girl at the grocery store, the girl at the mall. It does not discriminate. Age or race, it does not discriminate.
For sure.
If a young woman came to me, I would say, be honest about how you feel. Don't feel guilty for being angry, upset. Don't feel guilty for crying, but don't stay there because you got a fight ahead of you and you got things to do. And even in the midst of it, you have a life to live. Live your life, baby girl, live your life.
Welcome back to From Stigma to Strength. And we're going to start with you, Steve, again, and we'll jump right back to Sarah. So we're going to put up a slide, and this is where people can get information about the rec department.
Yep. So I said the best way is that we do a lot of our marketing and a lot of our information output is through our online platforms. I said the biggest one is MethuenRec.com. I said all of our programs that require registration is all filtered right through MethuenRec.com. I said you put together a profile with all your family's information, and it's basically a one-click shop. After once you do that, you just pick whatever programs you want, add it to your cart, and check out. We've really expedited the process over the last couple of years to make it as easy as possible for families to get involved with things. Right. We also help to market and get word out about programs on our Facebook and Instagram pages. Right. We also like to do a lot of recaps of a lot of the great stuff we do. Recently, we just had our egg hunt last weekend, and we had probably about 700 kids there. I said, chasing around. We had 5,000 eggs, 1,000 free kids meals. We had stuff everywhere. It was crazy. It was gone. It was gone in 2.5 minutes. You would never believe.
Was it that long?
I'm not even sure it lasted that long. But it was a lot of fun. But we do utilize those platforms to get the word out about things. Yeah. I just got noticed today that the fire department is going to be doing their fishing derby at Forest Lake on May 11th. Right. I said that's something that you'll be seeing.
That's a lot of fun.
Even if it's not our programming, we like to put out the programs. I said, I know we've worked with the library before. I said to put out a program that is going on that might not be Methuen Rec related, but it might benefit the community as a whole.
Oh, of course.
If you go to our website, even if it's not a program being hosted by Methuen Rec, I said we do have all of the links to connect to Methuen Youth Basketball, Methuen Youth Baseball, Cub Scouts, and we really try to be that core processes for people who are looking to get themselves involved. If people have questions about stuff, I said, they are always welcome to call our office as well. I said, we had the phone number up there. You can find our phone number on MethuenRec.com as well. We are always happy to assist you with finding an avenue for you to get involved one way or the other, whether it be our program, whether it be through a private group, whether it be through the library, whether it be with Methuen Arts, whether it be through a youth organization. We just want to get people active and engaged in the community. I said it's the easiest way to get people to make friends and to really grow as human beings. In my opinion, I'm a very active person, as a lot of people do know. I'm out and about everywhere. But it's my goal is to really kind of connect with each and every person in the community and try to find that outlet for them to be able to know that there's something there in Methuen for them.
So do you run the Unified Basketball program?
We do not. Nope, that is run through Methuen Youth Basketball, which is a terrific program. I said that they do utilize. I said Dan LaBelle actually runs that Methuen Youth Basketball here in the city, and has taken over like the high school and a lot. Basically, he is the everything of basketball right now in the city. In that unified program is terrific with the actual incorporation of the high school kids and all the different organizations that do get involved with that. It's been a terrific program that they've been able to do.
Yeah. If somebody doesn't have access to a computer, can they go to the senior center if they're an elder?
We do not have computers for use at the senior center, but
Okay.
they could visit Sarah at the library.
There you go. I was just
We
going to bump right
do,
over to her.
yes.
So if they don't have access to, like, say, if they read it in the newspaper or that newspaper calls Methuen Life.
Oh, yeah.
So if they read it in Methuen Life or any other newspaper, and it asks to sign up, they could go to the library and you would assist them in signing one of their children up for a program.
Correct.
Or anything, obviously anything else they need. Let me ask you a question, either of you. If a parent has a child who they need to get them out of the house, like the child is always in the house, they don't want to interact with anyone, they'll go to school and, just how do you get them out to join a sport? I mean, you don't want to force a kid to do anything, I don't want to say that, but to have them interact, like the summer program.
Correct. And for programs like that, the summer program would be a perfect example of that.
Right.
Is having that counselor to child ratio
Right.
allows for one-on-one time sometimes with the counselor to help those children integrate into the group.
Right.
It may take a week, it may take
Yeah.
an hour. Every child's different. As in, we have had a lot of instances where parents will drop their children off and the child will want to sit in the corner for
Yeah.
2 hours. That's okay. I said
Yeah.
our counselors will check in on them,
Yeah.
making sure that they're comfortable, helping them get acclimated the way that they want to get acclimated. And every child's going to be different. Some kids are just going to run out there and jump in the swings,
Yeah.
and some children want to ease in. And we train our counselors to acknowledge that and to just go and check in and make sure that they're comfortable, that they're happy. And then after an hour, after a couple of minutes, hey, do you want to come play a game with us?
Yeah.
Do you want to interact? Okay, do you want to come do an art project? And they can it helps them to look at what's going on around them, to absorb everything that's going around them.
Yeah.
I said, and to find out what structure is going to be comfortable for them to get themselves involved with.
Right, that's great. So now, your turn. I
Yeah.
felt like we're leaving you out, but can you pull up the Nevins Library slide, please? So you have a program we're going to just jump right into this. You have a program at the library, Samaritan, is it run by the Samaritans or through the library?
We're hosting a trained facilitator from the Samaritans to come and run a suicide prevention workshop in May. Being part of the city's mental health task force kind of opened our eyes to the prevalence of suicide in our city.
Yeah.
And so in April, we had a suicide prevention workshop led by a high school counselor that was presented in Spanish with English translation to reach that part of our community.
Right.
And now in May, we'll have one from the Samaritans that'll be run in English that will talk about suicide prevention, seeing the signs, self-care, and also postvention
Right.
care, which is all very, very important. So,
Yeah.
and this isn't, these are just two that we're doing right now. We're going to keep doing this because it's such a big and important program.
Yeah, it definitely is. And Methuen's had its fair share of mental health issues in the last couple of years, especially after COVID. Everyone was isolated, and a lot of our elderly couldn't get out. Now they're afraid to get out because they're afraid they'll become ill. And COVID's
Yeah.
not fun. I had it twice, but I tell you, the flu was worse. I don't want that again. So how would you tell people to come back out, and
Well,
what would you suggest?
we have, particularly for our older population, we have a lot of programs specific to that, where we've got one Friday a month we have Social with Seniors, which is not really a book group. It's more people just getting together and talking about a book they liked, a movie they liked, a restaurant they liked, just to kind of start the conversation with other people
Right.
that they like. But another problem that we've seen with seniors is, that they are scared of computers. They aren't at the senior center. That there's some seniors who just are not comfortable with that,
Yeah.
and so that kind of creates some disconnection too. So we've recently started a digital literacy class through Tech Goes Home, where it's just a basic class. So you can come in. You have to sign up. It's incredibly popular. It took right off, which is fantastic, because if you do the set number of hours, you get to keep the Chromebook that you learned how to use in the
wow.
class, and then you get like a year of free internet. to keep going. And so the people who've already graduated are so happy because now they can feel better emailing their grandchildren or Zooming with them and just kind of, feeling more comfortable when people say, to sign up, or to look here, or go to this website. Now they can.
Sarah, is there a cost for that program with the Chromebooks?
No, there's no cost at all.
Yeah. So how long is the course? Or
It's, I believe it's 8 weeks, 2 hours a week, but you have to finish 15 hours of instruction.
Right. That's pretty good. So is it just for the elder community? And how old do you what does the library consider elder? Sometimes it's 50, sometimes it's 60.
We're not going to ID you.
Yeah.
It's more of, it's there for people.
Oh, that's great.
To do. Yeah.
So
there will be a class coming in the future that is designed for parents with their younger, tween, an older child too, for the same sort of program. But that's in the future. We're just getting this program off
just
the
getting
ground.
it off the road.
Yeah.
So what do you see as a library's role in supporting mental wellness for our community?
Well, I think it's twofold. The libraries, any library, but obviously I'm partial to Nevins. That we're there. We're a source of information.
Yeah.
We're a trusted source of information. We provide free access to anybody, but we also are that space to gather, the free space to come in and just be.
Yeah. What information is available at the library that would help them with obviously books and everything, but
Sure. We have books. We have lots of books. But there's more to it. I mean, we
like, is it just books, or do you hold sessions on wellness?
We actually have a consumer health, a certified consumer health librarian on staff, so that we can help you sort through the books and the information and the resources that you're trying to find, so that you can find the information that you need in the way that you would like to receive it.
Right,
She's not going to give you medical advice, but she,
right, of course.
But she does have that, that training to help with that. But we've got books and resources that are factual, but we also have the stories to help you feel not so alone with whatever that you're going through, or that you're trying to help someone close to you who's dealing with it. But we also have the library of things. We have all of those things, and just the space. I love the space that helps.
My question: what can someone expect when they walk into that beautiful building?
Oh, someone's going to say hello. They're going to talk to you.
Yeah.
There's things to do. Listen, I know not everyone likes to read, and that's fine. That's fine. Come anyway. You can just sit by the fireplace. You can. We have a community jigsaw puzzle.
I forgot about the fireplace. Yeah.
Yes, it's a beautiful room.
It's gorgeous.
I told there is just a special feeling walking to that. It's always been that way.
It's just calming. I find it calming.
It's such a great space, and I think earlier we were kind of talking about kids, and the library just has an incredible children's teen program. I have a child that can't really play sports because of a medical issue, and so it's really so great to have the movie club, the art club, the anime club. There's just so much offerings on a weekly basis. After school, some after work, even some hours, and those programs I think are talking about getting people out, getting kids out that might be isolating. Those programs are just so wonderful in that incredible space.
Yeah.
And we even have a new initiative. The Youth Services Department has this initiative for growing readers.
Yeah.
And part of that is looking to help new parents, because I think it's so isolating as a new parent sometimes. So we have new parent peer groups. This spring, they just told me yesterday that they're going to have programs to help with grandparents who are caring for their grandchildren, and kind of help that community a little bit too.
Yeah.
So it's really,
So you know what I found stuttering my words, when my granddaughter was an infant, my daughter found a group, a baby group. It was up to 18 months or whatever, and bring the baby in, and they do different activities and noises and things. And she says, "Ma, you got to come to this with me." So I went and was taking pictures of, just her and the baby. But it was just, she's like, "I just get out of the house. I got to get out of this house. I feel like the walls are closing in on me." So she met other mothers there.
Sarah, during the break, we were talking a little bit about some of the passes and things that the library offers.
Right,
Yeah.
Which I think if we're talking about just kind of getting out of the house, and we were just talking about the Philharmonic. So the library has passes for the New Hampshire Philharmonic and a bunch of other museum passes. But I think,
Zoo, the
you know, if
Children's
your kids
Library.
are a little bit older and you're looking for maybe just that date night or something like that, and there's there's an ability there that's for free.
You know,
again,
especially an older couple too that don't get out much and can only get out during the day
You can get
because they
museum
can't see at
pass.
night.
Right,
But
or maybe
yeah, to
on
get
a
out
fixed
during the day.
income. Like get the museum pass and get a good discount to
Yeah,
go to
exactly.
the Museum of Fine
the
Arts,
aquarium,
or the
or like-
aquarium, you know, any of
I
that
haven't
sort
been
of
there in
things.
ages.
Yeah,
But
that's.
what other passes?
Oh my
that-
gosh, I'm trying to think. There's the Museum of Science, the Children's Museum.
It's like a whole page when you
there's
go
a
to the
whole
passes.
page.
You scroll.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
all
like
the different
their
things.
website. And even, like I said, even that they don't have a website, I mean, they don't have access to a computer, go in and
Go
someone
in,
will help
give
them.
us a call. We'll help.
You know, just like, you know, the rec department, you find, I mean, go to the library, use their computer. Somebody will help you, someone will greet you. The senior center, there's so much to do at the senior center.
At the senior center.
You know-
And there's so much going on in the art scene. You know, I would just if you're looking to get involved in art, it's so easy. Really, like pick up a pen and paper, right?
Yeah.
Or listen to the radio, cook some food, garden. All of these things are art. You know, sometimes people don't see that. Like making a delicious bread is a form of art. You know, baking.
Yeah.
And so just want to really encourage people. Methuen Artists Unite, you can find us online on social media. We have a website, MethuenArtistsUnite.com. We're about to do a citywide scavenger hunt, actually. That mural we're putting at different businesses all throughout the city, and encourage people to come out to see some of the local organizations and businesses that are willing to work with local artists.
Tell us a little about this mural you're going to put out.
Yeah,
Now
so
I'm
it's the
interested.
same mural that we saw. A couple years after we painted it, the mural actually fell apart,
know.
which was so sad.
You were so devastated.
So Methuen Artists Unite last year, we took out a grant. We digitized the mural and printed it on metal. It's Dibond. It's never going to fall apart again.
Yeah.
So it's these 5 panels that make up that 30-foot mural, and we're just so grateful for the local businesses and organizations that are taking part in this scavenger hunt. Man's Orchard, Riverside Church, the Music Hall, and all will kind of host.
You're not making the hunt very difficult by telling everyone about it.
All of these places will host one of the panels. And we're just really, really excited to have people come out, check out, hopefully not in order now. I just kind of gave away some of the spots.
Let's
but,
cut that out. No,
right?
I'm kidding.
But just there's so many ways to get involved with art in so many different avenues and aspects, you know.
Because art's a thing where you just clear your head and focus on what you're doing.
Right.
And,
I mean, there's so many groups
you know.
in Methuen. Kindness Rocks in Methuen that
Yeah.
hosts.
Oh, Yvonne,
the
yeah.
library hosts the Kindness Rocks.
the tree,
The garden,
Yeah, they do.
garden.
She does a great job.
There's the
yes.
poetry
Yeah.
wall down on the rail trail. I mean, there's just really a lot of ways to
Yeah.
get involved. And if you're feeling like, actually, that's kind of intimidating, I don't really know if I can make it to a class, check out YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? There's
for
so
sure.
many incredible lessons on YouTube, and you can do that in the comfort of your own home. Get all the materials you need. You can even invite some friends over and have like a paint night in
Yeah.
your living room with a YouTube tutorial.
You know, I told you
So-
my friend is doing beautiful watercolors. You know who you are. And she learned on YouTube, and her watercolor is like, she goes, Nancy, you could do this yourself. No, I
It's
couldn't.
breathtaking. It
It's
really is.
beautiful.
And there's just so many lessons that
Shout
people
out to
are
Bobby.
willing,
Yeah. Shout out
willing
to
to
Bobby.
teach you.
Yeah, beautiful.
Whether it's like painting or cooking
Yeah.
or music or really anything.
The rail trail's another such quiet and peaceful down there. And Yvonne and I actually we saw this picture of this rail trail snake, and we're like, let's do that. So the snake is called Ranger, and it's right by the poetry wall. So Yvonne and I made the head, and Yvonne and I created like a small, different rocks, and so it has grown so much, and people are enjoying it. But even to go to the rail trail, it's so much fun. But even the grounds at the library are so like, I'll use a kid's word, chill. Like, just go, like, sit on the benches there and read a book. It's so peaceful there. And then you have, like, that little children's area out back.
We've got the children's garden out back, and the
Right.
Friends last year just completed the patio in the front, which is
yeah.
beautiful.
So pretty.
Yeah, the Friends of the Library had a huge fundraising effort to do that. I mean, they are so good to us. They do some wonderful things and support the library in so many ways. They buy all the museum passes for us, and
Wow.
and they do that patio, and that's another great thing. If looking to join something to volunteer, feel fulfilled by giving back, like, join the Friends of the Library if that's your passion. Join, any of these, volunteer at any of the there's so many great organizations in Methuen that to volunteer.
But it's just getting people out who just are afraid to get out. Like some people they're afraid to leave their homes.
Yeah.
And,
Well, hopefully you see us here, I think that's part of it, is just kind of that
exactly.
you know Sarah is at the library, Steve's at the
the
rec
time.
department, I'm at the senior center. We all would love to see you.
Yeah.
And I think maybe sometimes that's it, just having a familiar face or a friendly face or somebody that's saying, come on down. Like, we are so welcome
Like
to come
trying to,
down.
And I can speak for myself too, Nancy. Sorry to interrupt,
yeah.
but I said I ask people to reach out all the time if there are things that they want to see offered that they haven't seen yet.
Right.
Because I am always open to new possibilities in the city, because not everyone has the same interest, but there might be something out there that somebody's interested in that we haven't even thought of that could be a huge hit here in the city.
Yeah.
We have an open door policy in my department.
Yep.
I tell people all the time. I had a parent reach out to me the other day about, hey, can we offer this and this? It's something that we had offered a few years ago, but now there's a huge interest in it.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back.
bring it back.
Let's bring it back. Just because it doesn't work one time doesn't mean it's not going to work. Things evolve. People change. I said, and especially in this city, I said, we want to always be offering the most up-to-date stuff, and that's how you get people out. Is to give them that avenue of what they want to get engaged with. I said, it makes it a lot easier if it's something they're passionate about. It might help them walk out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
I said, to be able to branch out and meet people with similar interests.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. I know the councilors are they all younger people, like in college, that do it over the summer, or can an older person volunteer to be a counselor at the parks?
We are open to anyone who wants to provide a healthy and fun environment for our kids.
So somebody who's isolated in their home, like a retired teacher or whatever, who dealt, so they're not alone, so they can get out and volunteer or do something.
Absolutely, especially someone who has a skill like a teacher, I said, who might be alone and looking to engage themselves and wants to get out of the house. I said, if they
So
want to
they're
offer a
not
class,
lonely.
I said,
Yeah.
come offer a class. I said, we'd love to have people and get involved that way.
So they're not lonely or depressed or anything.
Correct.
So we're going to sum up, and we'll start with you, Sarah. Like how, mental health issues and how the library can help someone.
Well, I think, and I hope that the library is a welcoming place for everyone. That's our goal. So no matter how you're feeling, what you're going through, whatever you need, if we can help, we want to help, and if you can't come to the library, we'll do everything we can to get to you.
Yeah, and they can just call the library.
Call the library. If you can call me directly. I'm extension 20. You can say hi to me when you're in the library. It's sometimes being isolated, and isolation and depression go hand in hand. So just having a conversation, having a friendly face to have a conversation with, that's not like your dunks order. Like to just have that. And maybe that's just for today.
Right.
And then maybe tomorrow you can do a little bit more. And maybe the next day you can do a little bit more.
One step at a time.
Exactly. And if we can be any one of those steps to help the people in Methuen, we want to do that.
And Jen, about you, the art program.
Oh, that's so well said, Sarah.
I know, right?
So Methuen Artists Unite, our really main goal is to spread joy through art.
Right.
And art is an incredible tool that allows people to do that. So I encourage people to reach out to us at MethuenArtistsUnite.com. As a local art advocate too, anything that I could do personally to help see your art where you would want it to be, I really would love to help you.
Yeah.
And so would all the artists in Methuen Artists Unite.
Right,
So,
and to help someone with, will help someone with
Yeah,
depression.
art and mental health is
Yeah.
just, it's kind of a hand in hand.
Right.
However, whatever art avenue you choose. But if you're not feeling well, you create something, and I guarantee you'll feel better
It
afterwards.
just builds yourself up.
Yeah.
Your turn.
I know we've talked a lot about programming and
Right.
a lot of that aspect of it, but Parks and Rec also is around here to let you know about the resources you have available to you as well. Not necessarily programming, but facilities-wise.
Right.
So we actually were just lucky enough that Blue Cross and Blue Shield gave us a grant for outdoor fitness equipment that we're hoping to put down at Veterans Park.
Yeah.
I said, if you go down to Veterans Park, it has a terrific walking trail. I said, playgrounds. I said, athletic fields. There are a lot of facilities here that if you want looking to get out of the house and you're not necessarily interact, but just to get out
Even if
and
you're
be
alone.
active.
Yeah.
I said, I had a conversation with a woman today that had never walked around Riverside Drive. I said, in the park down there,
Yeah.
and how tranquil it is because it's right along the water.
And how did
and
that
how
help her?
relaxing it was
Yeah.
for her. She said she was having a stressful day, and she walked down from the softball fields and started walking around,
Yeah.
and said, wow, I never even knew this park was here, but walking around it just brought my mood to a totally different level.
Yeah.
We have so many terrific places here in Methuen,
Yeah.
whether it be Gray Court Park, which people don't see about, which is a beautiful passive recreation park that's a good place to go sit and just read
Yeah.
and do this. We have so much in the city historically, new, I said, and continue to evolve, that if you're looking for ways or just outlets to get out of your house in a safe manner, always feel free to reach out to Methuen Parks and Rec. We can give you so many offerings, I said, to let you know what might work best for you.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys very much. So, if you need help, reach out to the library. If you need something to do, you're alone, reach out to the rec department. Steve will more than happy to help you. Jen, Methuen Artists United, even at the senior center.
at the senior center.
You know, there's a lot of activities, and we do hope people will reach out to you guys that need it. And remember, it's okay not to be okay. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time on From Stigma to Strength. Thank you.